Hello, everybody! We are live with another round of the Azure Dreams Rock Me to the Top tournament. Today we have SepticTank versus the reigning champ PouletSansTete. And I'm Lady Deme.
Hello.
And with me is Shawnee.
I should definitely watch the stream. That would help for commentary's sake.
That it would. For those of you unfamiliar, Azure Dreams is a PlayStation 1 RPG. Kind of a mystery dungeon style game where our two runners will have a 40-floor tower of procedurally generated monsters, traps, hallways, rooms, accursed doorways in which bad things can happen, and they will have an hour per round to climb as far as they can and as fast as they can, and they are off.
Well, Poulet hugging two trees for good luck after smashing that pot. Clearly a pro strategy going on here.
Very clearly an ingenious strategy to manipulate the RNG so that everything spawns a million Scarlet Wands, except Azure Dreams doesn't work that way.
No, especially because this is a fixed seed tournament.
Right, when we're using it does not work that way, and outside of the randomizing de-randomizer, there isn't really manipulations of the RNG. It's just gonna do what it's gonna do.
Actually, to put it in perspective on how random this game is for its generation of the floors naturally, when we were trying to figure out the Beldo sleeping glitch like a year and a half ago, Sad Knight saved on floor 30, save stated, and it took us 5 hours in order to find him sleeping once. Where we know it's just a trap room is generated and stuff like that. But we kept reloading the same save state over and over and over again, and it took us 5 hours to finally get the one outcome we're looking for, and every single floor is always different. So you can't manipulate anything.
Now the manipulations you can do are all very small, and they're not RNG manipulations so much as enemy AI manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
Which is very interesting, and we might see some of that today, knowing how the monsters move to mostly dodge attacks, because the player character is the weakest thing in the tower.
Yeah, we see here Poulet is already level 2. He found a troll in the hallway. Septic ran away from a flame because he's level 1, and the most important level in this game is literally just getting level 2, because you get 10 HP. After that, it's diminishing returns. You don't really get much HP per level, but that second level lets you survive against flames and cyclones and stuff like that. It's extremely crucial without using your fireball.
Yeah. It is one of those things that can really trip up particularly new runners, because most of the time you'll find things you can handle early on, but every once in a while you just spawn next to a flame and bad. Just bad. It's bad to be you.
Septic going up to the next floor already. I don't think he explored the top right of his map there. This seems to be some AI one manipulation on Poulet's side, but I would also just use a fireball and just get rid of the flame. Okay, never mind. He's been fighting it for a while.
Out. Yeah, works out well enough.
Septic used Brid on the troll.
We've been seeing that a lot this tournament, relatively. I think Damage Plushie using this in her matches. Maybe that is something that Septic picked up or gave to her in coaching. Because it's not a usual strat. It costs an incredible amount of MP. MP is always going down. You cannot regenerate it. And it's a ranged attack, and you don't have many of those. That's a plus to using Brid.
But
that's about it.
But to put it in perspective, to use Mixed Magic, every attack is 1/3 of an MP, because fractions are wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
To do a physical attack, like a direct attack or whatever with Queenie, takes up 1 MP, and Queenie is one of the only monsters that starts with the increased MP reserve of 100, which is why it's a decent starting monster. To use Brid is like, I think,
a decent monster. Yeah,
yeah, but like to use Brid
back.
though is I think 12 MP or 8 MP or something. So you're using a really good chunk of your MP reserves. You could do like 24 minimum attacks with Mixture Magic with that.
Yep,
So
which it's better than dying.
yes,
but I don't think it really was necessary in that situation. We saw Poulet not have to burn more than just a couple of MP on it, and no other resources. So probably could have been fine without. We haven't seen a whole lot of like really eye-catching drops. Oh, Poulet using that malicious spell, gonna do a little bit of level grinding, I guess.
possibly. It's a little bit risky to do that, but at the same time, if you can kind of get yourself set up to get to floor 14 for Gerudos and easy like win monster kills, not a bad strat.
Yeah, it's a workable strat. I think I would like to have equipment, decent equipment before I did something like that.
Septic threw the sword on top of the roof after it missed.
Oh, that is unfortunate. That is strange and unfortunate.
This game is
white
prefect.
Sand.
Yeah. This game is prefect with no problems whatsoever.
Absolutely.
For those who don't know, if you build every building in this game and go back to the construction place, the guy will say, "Oh, the town is prefect instead of perfect." I don't know if it's a typo or not, but that's how it's defined Azure Dreams now at this point.
Yeah, it's a good way of putting it. I feel like that particular word being the one with it means that it was a deliberate gag.
I think so, but at the same time, like there are kind of some
really
dumb things in this game too.
Yeah. If it was any other word in that sentence, I would say not a deliberate gag.
Furworm?
Furworm is a brilliant bit of translation. I applaud them for trying.
Also, we see here both Septic and Poulet went to different elevations in the same room to fight the Miniva.
Yeah, that is an interesting.
Septic went for Septic went for the closer to the door versus
Monster Dead. Ooh, that means Monster Dead music.
Yeah.
Switching audio.
That's alright. It's already on Poulet.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, Poulet is in the lead just by a slight. They've actually been pretty on pace, but looks like he will probably have to skip floor 5 just because, well, there's quite a few monsters now.
This is too much. This is too much. Sand Knight has not even blessed this scene, and we are already seeing.
Oh, what are you doing? You don't. That's a crit.
That was a crit.
So, just as a heads up, Lady Devin made these seeds, not me.
Yeah, this is my fault. This is one of the more hazardous situations you can get into, too. Especially because of this hallway. Getting out of the room was a good start to, like, saving the day. Yeah, maybe it's because Sand Knight showed up that suddenly this happened. Septic hasn't run into that yet.
No, it's based on a set tile, so unless
Septic walks onto it, it will not happen.
Yeah.
And so Septic could very well possibly just get out of this mess.
Yeah, this actually might be the difference as well, because obviously there's some Miniva juking on Septic's side there. Minivas are blind to the left and right of them, or for diagonal angles. So.
Okay, Poulet has managed to mostly get out of this mess.
There's still a lot of extra monsters on the floor, though. So like you can see a Miniva in the top right there. That's going to be following and turning left. So he's not going to have to fight it by the time he gets there. But this is a lot of time wasted on this floor just because of that one And Septic completely didn't know it existed.
Yep. Poulet will probably at some point in the spoiler chat bring up the monster dead. Septic will say, "Oh, there was a monster dead," and that is how Azure Dreams running goes sometimes.
Yep. There's theoretically, I believe, there's always a monster dead on every floor. If it's placed in a room, though, is a different story because it should be on a tile somewhere on the map.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so there theoretically should always be a monster dead, unless I could be corrected in chat. I'm pretty sure the game, when it budgets the traps, actually buys. Yeah, use the Peter for you lost a lot of MP there for fighting all the monsters.
By the way, when you put it like that, I'm now imagining the Twitter post warp trapped at 30 gold, poison traps 20 gold, monster den I don't put in a room 5,000 gold. Please help me budget.
Yeah.
The players aren't dying.
It's the thing is like with that, it's like because for those who don't know, the game actually has a budget for floors. That's what we're talking about. It's a budget of like I think 200 or something. It's not a lot, but if you think of it like gold, and a go up trap is like, oh, that's worth, let's say 24. Well, the way it normally works, and this explains like the whole Beldo is sleeping thing as well, is if a trapper misspawned, the game splurged all its money on traps. And went, this is the one room we're putting all the traps in. And if that happens on floor 31 when you see Beldo, we call it Beldo is sleeping because Beldo can't be afforded. So you just skip it, but because of that, all the monsters don't spawn until Beldo spawns, so you have a free floor to explore on, but there is a single trap room that might get you later. So that's how
that happens.
Yeah, so like that's one of those things where, ooh, we got a floor 6 egg there.
And like Septic just blazed through these floors, in part due to not having to fight every monster in the known universe.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, we have Septic on floor 10 as well. Although, taking a lot of damage from that troll with the bowgun, though.
Yep. This has not
two down. There we go.
No, Septic is down, but this first round is not over yet. Poulet still has to get higher than Septic.
No, Booga. The egg was on floor 6. That's a bad French joke. But yeah, honestly, like this has been a very volatile seed to say the very least. The thing is, what you have to worry about if you're running up a tower is if you go at a low level and you only have the wood shield, you have to take into account how much damage you're going to be getting dealt. If you find even a cursed steel shield or an iron shield or whatever that's not cursed, that little bit of extra defense. This is back when I'll show my age. Back when video games. A +1 in defense meant a lot.
Well, it means a lot at a certain point in time.
Yeah, and once you get to floor 28, you're dead.
Yeah. And maybe, and when it comes to those higher floors, it's really more a matter of level than of equipment.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure Septic died on floor 10, so it means Poulet has to get to floor 11 because there was no griffins there, I believe.
Yeah, I think that is right. Right.
Chat, if you can confirm if he was on floor 10 or 11, because both the floor layouts are the same. Wait, did Poulet lose Queenie? No. Poulet did lose Queenie.
Yeah. I think that happened probably while SepticTank was getting defeated over there. So if Poulet dies on this floor, Septic does take the point due to being the one who got here second.
Mm-hmm.
We do want them to go fast. We're pretty sure it's 10. We're pretty sure that Septic died on 10. Yeah, I think it is sensible to be using your fireballs pretty liberally against clowns, if only because those are surprisingly tough enemies that are surprisingly easy to deal with.
Yeah.
With your regular offenses. They're squishy wizards. with scythes.
Okay, he gets
Lucky
both pickups.
pickups.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the trolls with the bowguns actually really, really, really hurt. And they like to shoot roughly up to six spaces away or something. And now thankfully he has the high ground there. But okay, he can take 2 hits from that other one there if he's not careful. That's useful. There we go. There's
Absolutely.
one.
And there it goes down the gullet.
Yeah. You really got to be careful with the troll with the bowguns. During one of my tournament races, I was stuck in a crack trap. They were still able to hit me, and I could not do anything but use a holy scroll. And that was one of the worst experiences because it was constantly just bombarding me with this. I'm pretty sure that's a GG.
GG, yeah.
So I will let them know quickly, and then we'll get set up.
Poulet will be able to set for the next seed. As we were saying, we are resetting for game 2 now. Now, while we're here, that septic seed looks good. Poulet is asking what happened, and it's just a simple matter of Leather Shield does not help you defend very much. It's great when you can get its increased dodge chance to protect you, but it's not, gonna save you all the time.
You can't bank on the extra 3% evasion on that one. But trolls do have less accuracy the farther away they shoot, though, too. But that was point blank, so.
Yeah, that was just gonna be what it was gonna be. Shenanigans is how Septic described this.
Poulet's timer
and here
crashed.
we are asking about the monster den, as inevitably happens. But it's honestly in a seeded race where there is a monster den somewhere that someone finds, it's not very common for the other person to find it. That is my observation.
Yeah, and we're having a chat. It's 11% dodge rate, I think, with Leather Shield versus 3% natural. Then, if I'm being corrected properly.
Yep, there's also a matter of luck, which is just out of as if this game did not have enough luck in it. As if it needed more luck.
Yeah, and the seed is good for Septic. I'll let him know, and I will check Poulet's in a second here. 57427.
Luck in a roguelike.
Yes,
I know.
Yeah, there is a factor of it. We have to. We can't just say it's all just luck or whatever. Good to go.
It is not.
He's unaware of his trees.
Look, it is a complicated game to learn how to run, but at the same time, the amount of luck that is a part of this game kind of makes it a really easy game to start learning. Because, you're screwed either way.
Yeah, honestly,
enjoy it.
I will always be the first to defend this game for a speed run because it's obviously very daunting to run a roguelike game. You can the more you learn about this game, the easier the game gets, and it just comes with practice and experience. I can't practice not hitting a sleep trap and dying or walking into a room. Actually, I could turn the camera.
Yeah, that is
My last tournament or last set of tournament matches, not the one versus Damage Plushie, but versus Septic. For my 2 deaths, there's things I can learn. I will still refuse to turn the camera to the day I die in the tower again and again and again. But that's just how I. All right. Oh, we should also say as well. Okay, I'm gonna give them a countdown here.
All
Fun.
right.
We also we actually forgot to mention, since the first round went so quickly, this randomizer is possible because of our programmer, pro_grammar. And I always want to give credit to him, and it was amazing that he was able to basically solve the RNG randomization of this game, so we can actually do a fixed seed tournament where both players are playing on the exact same seed.
Really nice to see.
Yeah. And I'll always try to make it a point to always thank him every single stream, even if he's not around right now, or if he catches the VODs later or something like that. Because our first set of tournaments were always just you boot up the game and play, and you always have the tower luck versus RNG luck and roguelike luck, and who is your opponent, how are they competing, you don't know. Back then you were able to watch your opponent's streams, now opponents can't. Both of them dodging both sets of trees, that's good. That's a good start. Poulet was actually unaware of that.
All the time.
Yeah, Poulet was actually unaware of that, actually, when in the Discord when I mentioned it. It's like, what are you talking about, trees? Well,
you get in the zone, and frankly, I forget anything that happened at any point prior to the moment I am in when I am running.
Yeah. Also, I do like when I start running this game for the tournament matches, I love turning the camera all the way around for no reason, just because the camera has to turn all the way back as you come back into the tower. And it's just a little extra bit of work the game has to do, and it looks dumb, but it entertains me in that small run I've done like 100 times now. It's just something I need something to do other than just run right, run up. It's boring.
That is very fair. Really.
It's like Mega Man speedrunners. Oh, Poulet stutter stepped on the egg apparently. We got both of them putting Queenie behind him, as they should.
We have done as much as we can with the de-randomizing randomizers, like quality of life features, to make that opening floor as painless as possible. Still can't get that opening run to be a little bit like fresh and new, but one day. The random toolkit tournament did a little bit of that, where we changed the starting monster, and when you went to name Q, you would see what you got.
Yeah.
Ooh,
this tournament in particular is basically an 80% tournament with the quality of life changes and just reducing the time when it comes to
yeah, nice little back to basics thing, starting a new page since Sand Knight retired from organizing tournaments.
A ton of fruit. That's my favorite fruit in the game.
I mean, Roche.
I would still prefer a Tumina fruit just because of survivability versus a Roche.
Fair.
I tend to die when I use Garuda, so.
Good point. I just find that Roche is more fun, if only for the rarity, and besides, a Tumina fruit got me my first, and at this point, only any percent time, and so less.
Spider's so good.
Spider is so good. Spider is your friend.
Yeah, that was the first time I played this game. I came across a spider, so went, haha, little spider. Went to go punch it. It punched me back twice as hard. I'm like, oh, I don't like spider anymore. And then I got one. I'm like, oh, I like spider now.
Right. We'll be getting to Arachnes hopefully later. I'd like to see this be a good long seed. Really put the runners through their paces. They're like, really, any floor after 6 or 7 is a floor the game doesn't expect you to be on your first trip up. It has like this whole macro gameplay loop of going back and forth. Ooh, was that a cursed wand?
That was a cursed life wand, which I'm pretty sure Septic will immediately equip and get cursed. Yep. And did not find the go-up trap in the middle of the room like Poulet did.
Yep.
But Life Wand has a special trait of, well, you get HP back for every attack you do. It adds up after a while, because again, you only have like 70 health by the end of the run kind of thing if you're on a decent, floor to pace ratio kind of thing. And if you're getting 3 or 4 life back, you can start using your HP as a more valuable regenerating resource. The curse will affect them because, well, without the +1 of the damage, it does make a little bit of a difference. But the wands in general are really useful because they, I think the way I describe it is like you have a factor increase of attack power. Pokemon, same type attack bonus. There's the 3.
This game also does have a same type attack bonus.
Yep.
But that's only useful if they find a wand with an element or a sword with an element.
Yeah. I actually had resorted to using the fire sword in one of my runs. Wasn't keen about that, but I have to admit the +5 attack really does help with the early floors with the fire mixture magic as well.
And absolutely.
Exactly.
Now,
like
there is another way. Yeah, curse will reduce their luck and thus their accuracy. That is very true. Is very true. And there's very little they can do about that. If they find both a decurse scroll and a cure-all herb in the right order, or at least hang on to them to use in the right order, only then will they be able to escape the curse. And that's a lot, and also the game never tells you about that, because the game never tells you about luck as a thing. I mean, aside from the many valuable lessons about luck you will learn as a human being.
Yeah, and I actually have literally in front of me now the instructions for Azure Dreams. And I can tell you from the index, it doesn't give you pretty much any description on actually how to play the game other than the controls. Everything else is kind of like, well, you got to fix this and you do that or whatever. Although there is a description of the pond, so, the game informs you what's most important, not like a wing crystal or anything.
Yeah, which, just a note, our initial starting items, the copper sword, wood shield, fireball, medicinal herb, Palumpa egg that has a random name. There's no way home. There's no way back in that. There is no safe departure. You will either get lucky and go home with a wind crystal that you found and pried from the tower's clutches, or you will go home in a body bag.
Yep.
Game doesn't care.
And honestly, those 5 items we have learned to appreciate. I know the damage calculations of a wood shield versus a killer. Like, oh, there's a wind crystal now on Septic's side as we're talking. But the thing is, if a player were to leave the tower on their attempt, they forfeit their run on the floor they're on. So because of that, we see here again.
Useless.
Yeah, Poulet literally putting it down.
We're not going to see them willingly carry them around or use them. I did think that the Stars tournament, which allowed for re-entries, was fun. That could be a fun thing to try out sometime again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I was putting together this tournament, I just wanted to go back to basics for the. That was a very fortunate warp trap there.
Yeah, that could have been very nasty.
Yeah,
there's a decurse scroll.
Take the hits, grab the Minerva, or Manueva, Minerva. I can't remember how many people pronounce it differently, but see, that might catch Poulet off guard. If Poulet jumps down there, he might actually get teleported away from Queenie. And when you get teleported away from Queenie, you can see on the map, if you hold select down, you can see the pink dot where you were. You can't see where Queenie is anymore because you're too far away. The problem is, he just barely dodged it there. If he would have went one more down, he would have hit that warp trap.
Maybe nothing would have happened.
Exactly.
That is always a possibility, and luckily, it didn't end up being a real run changer for either of them, and that must be a relief to Septic.
Yeah, the warp traps are probably the biggest cause for resets in any percent runs, because unless you can keep Queenie or your monster, or even just Queenless, or I guess you're Queenless, warp traps are actually kind of good.
Yeah. Well,
you don't have to worry about
traps are
dying.
Neutral if you're Queenless.
Yeah.
I would say. Because, What if you were one square away from the elevator and now you have to fight your way through enemies? It sort of depends on whether or not the situation you were in before you hit the warp trap was good. But when you have your monster, ooh, an Oleem, that'll be handy. By the way, I noticed that Septic did not find that decurse scroll thing.
No, I think he actually went the opposite way. But honestly, like, they're on par with each other. Here's floor 7, here's floor 7. Like,
they are pretty much neck and neck.
Oh. And we see here Poulet made Queenie move away to save his HP, took the medicinal herb. But technically Septic is ahead by just like half a second right now.
Yeah, just by the thinnest of margins.
Yeah,
and
which does make a difference.
Like, hoping to capitalize on that lead, using that star glass. This is to get out of this floor as quickly as possible. And that's very reasonable. This is where things get rough.
Yeah, you don't want to see these floors in particular. You want to get to floor 10 pretty quickly from floor 7 because clowns, they're a good source of experience. You can kind of mess around with them. They're
red monsters, and therefore there's like sort of a maximum amount of threatening they can really be when you have Q.
The leather shield paying off there, but yeah, he forgot to put back to mixture magic and miss. Now he's down to possibly. Oh no, he got was 1 HP regeneration there.
And there's what you don't want to see.
Yeah.
U-boat. Septic, luckily using the U-boat's own AI against it, it's going to want to get a first hit in. But now Septic has to figure out how to dodge not one but 2 of them, because you can't fight 2 of them.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Well, the thing is, the Mediva's coming. I would honestly take the attack, throw the Holy Scroll, charm the second one, and just... Or Oleum, there we go. Yeah, just get rid of it.
That works. About face!
Also, we have here...
8 bomb. Okay, then.
We have 3 U-boats on Poulet's side as well.
Ooh, that is rough.
Yeah, honestly, this is the type of
trying to find a way out with every step.
No, they're again both on there at this exact same time.
Neck and
Septic
neck.
just by a little bit. But I was saying before is 7, 8, 9. Well, despite cannibalistic numbers, are the floors of the U-boats, and you actually don't want to stay on them for too long because although you can get good experience with the clowns. They are extremely dangerous because you saw they were doing 13 damage. You have 42, 39 health here. You're not surviving a lot. Like, you're honest. Ooh. Got a Scarlet.
Oh, man, that's going to be pretty handy.
We got a Scarlet Wand.
Oh, that is nice to see.
And it's in the room with the elevator. So this is the one. So Poulet now takes ahead just by a little bit here. But I don't. Do we know Septic found the decurse scroll?
I think we.
Oh, he did.
Earlier. Okay, then. Hopefully. Oh no! That is funny. That is funny. Do we know if curses stack?
No, I think it still sets it to 0. I think that's the factor. Unless Sandlight, you can confirm or deny, or not speak to not incriminate yourself on your seeds. Clearly. Yeah, I was thinking that might be a cursed leather shield because. Poulet found one in the previous floor. He didn't need to pick up another one unless he wanted to bank on it being a +1 or +2. Ooh, we got a floor 10 egg. That could be a U-boat, actually.
Could be some neat things. Clown would also be pretty good. They have that double spell level trait. They have that ranged attack mixture magic. It's a pretty nice setup. So there's certainly some good possibilities, but it could also be a volcano.
Yeah, no one really likes a volcano.
No.
Although, if it is a Dreamin', and if it's Poulet again, that would be amazing.
Poulet used a Dreamin' in his last smashes to great effect as just sleep aid, warm body.
And also, unfortunately, took What are you doing? You didn't set the AI 1.
Oops.
What are you
Little
doing?
misplay there. Could have done better.
Yeah. Septic. What? No, Septic, stop! Oh gosh.
Yeah, not the best monster manipulation there on Septic's side. That is, it can get tricky. It can be tricky sometimes. Hopefully, he will not pay for that. But he has fallen a bit behind.
Yeah, we're on floor 12 now, I believe, by the background layout for Poulet, who is also hiding his floor number now.
Yep, they're just gonna do that. Well, it is an efficient version of the HUD, I do have to admit.
It is, but honestly, I'm used to playing games by their default, and just having the HUD there telling me, oh, we see the egg there all the way in the corner on Septic side.
Mm-hmm.
just the right amount of draw distance to taunt you all the way over there. Oh, we got a tumbler fruit
using
versus...
a wind seed on the Griffin to make it much easier to deal with. While it'll be dealing the same amount of damage to Poulet, his player character himself, it won't be receiving the same amount of damage from Kuhn's attacks, and that's what's important.
Yeah. Oh, so we see here, now we're on floor 13. Like, this is one of the second... This is... Well, 13, 14, 15 are another set of 3 floors you really don't want to hang around on. Because this is the introduction of Krakens.
Yeah, Krakens.
No one likes Krakens.
Not fun. Not friends.
Yeah, they're... Okay, spawn room in one was sleeping, thankfully. It's honestly not worth... Like, you want to keep all the Olim fruits you can potentially find to fight the Krakens, because they're just going to wreck you.
That blinder ball as opposed to that egg, I think Poulet is probably committing to that egg not being important. Not being anything that he is going to put time into. And that would probably end up working out.
Septic finding a Kraken and a go-up trap at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So the Krakens stick around for... so 12, 13, 14, sorry, I should say. So they're really annoying to deal with. Acid Rainball is very nice. I don't think Poulet found that, actually. I think they went different ways.
That's a nice little edge, then. That can be... not great. Griffins are pretty hard hitters.
Rise damage? Yeah, there you go. Just... Griffin on top of the pedestal there, and that's...
not great.
Septic. Yeah.
This is not a situation you really wanted to be following that Griffin through.
Yeah, the other Griffin is his friend, but Queenie is going to be, yeah. Because, yep, there, oh. Okay, there we go. Now it's going to be fighting the other one. That's fine.
Okay, perfectly symmetrical violence can solve things.
Yeah, if the Pokemon the first movie has taught us anything, is 2 Pikachu slapping each other is funny.
Yeah.
Anyway. It's called satire, just for the record. I cried at that movie. Anyway, basically, like...
it's kind of funny.
It is. Like, this is like the last kind of block of floors which you really have to be careful of. The rest can be manageable, the rest can be manipulated, but 16... Like you have Vipers, you have an egg in your inventory, you can manipulate them. You have the wind floors. If you keep a Scarlet Wand on that point, you're pretty much safe with AI 1. If you manage to get a C Seed later and then transform from floor 28 onwards, you're pretty much set if you have a couple fireballs. That's dangerous.
I think I would say a similar thing about these floors. So admittedly, Krakens are just not fun. They're just not fun.
Yeah. Also, we recovered the MP of a copper coin there.
Oops. What Poulet was trying to do was throw something at those coins to figure out where the Mana Weaver was. but the item it through, you know, restore its MP. Maybe not the goal there.
But it's very nice to replenish that sleeping Minerva's. Actually, we should explain the Minerva we saw on floor 5, 6, 7, or whatever.
Seen it a couple of times.
Yeah, they actually have new abilities every time they pop up. And come floor 16, 17, 18, are they on 19 as well? I can't remember. But they will actually transform into items when they walk into them. So at that point, you have to be paranoid about 2 pieces of copper coins beside each other going, which one's going to kill me? And you can figure this out, actually. Yeah, exactly.
I saw Septic look at it, but I missed it myself.
Next time he opens up his inventory space there, we'll... Oh, there's the Kraken. Run. Poulet on an extremely decent pace right now. He's...
Absolutely.
Good inventory as well. He has a ton of fruit. He has a lot of Mahel seeds. The monsters seem to not want to go in that room just because the exits are so close to each other to keep reversing an abutting face.
Yeah, that can be a bit of an issue. Monsters more or less like going in a straight line as much as possible, but if they turn around and for whatever reason that their AI decides they can't move forward, etc., then they're gonna run into, like, some difficulties.
Now we have the cutest monster on screen on Poulet's side.
It is adorable in, like, a very, like, clown sort of way.
It's a ton of experience, actually, and it's extremely easy to kill, which is why a lot of...
Yep. Very easy to kill, relatively low risk to fight if you know what you're doing. Yes, Speed Azure Dreams, and we're seeing a pretty solid run here.
Yes, we've seen floors that we have not seen before in the previous run.
Always important. Onward and upward. Excelsior. Etc., etc.
Exactly, and I will actually get
And there's our new friends, the Vipers. I do not like them. No one likes them. They are manipulatable if you have the right materials on hand, and so that is the upside. The downside is you might not get your egg back.
So I will post this here as well. If anyone is interested, we do have a speedrunning Discord. If you're even a casual fan of the game, feel free to join. You don't have to speedrun it to be part of the Discord. We have a lot of people who just lurk and just enjoy when tournament matches pop up. And if you're interested in that, or if you're interested in just improving your game, we have tons of resources that are accessible to everyone. There's no gatekeeping. No, you have to have above a certain time to do whatever.
No. If there was something to that effect, I'm not sure. Well, at least I would not be here. I forget what your time is like at the moment.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I still stand by it. If you have ever even gotten to, like, floor 20 in one sitting, that itself is an amazing achievement because this game is extremely, extremely cruel.
It absolutely is, and I am behind that one 100%. Like I was said earlier, every level past floor 6 or 7 is one the game does not expect you to be on. You have pried it out of the game's cold, hard hands.
Yeah. Except Wooga. Wooga makes the tower fear him with a 24-hour or 24 minutes PB of the tower, 44 climb. So, that's just insanity. But honestly, like, if anyone is interested in speedrunning, please join the Discord. Also, the best mentality to have is it's us versus the tower, not us versus other runners. And that's how we kind of see the community as well.
Yeah. And I think that makes it a very fun and welcoming place.
Septic is that should pick up the KO with the second Queenie hit. No,
not quite it. That's a scary amount of HP to be walking around with.
He has a curse on him, and until he gets a Cure All Herb, that curse status doesn't go away.
Did Poulet lose Cure?
Possibly. Oh, geez, I was watching Septic for so long.
Right.
Possibly a warp trap. I don't know. If it was a warp trap, I think we would see combat by now.
Yeah, I think so as well. I'm not sure. Could have been bagged in a crisis, but I don't think that's Poulet's style. Okay, Viper, yeah. Yeah, that checks out.
Yep. Oh, hey, are we going to get the blind? Yep. So this game is also extremely mean because it affects the player, not the character. If you have a blind status, you don't just hit less. You can't see where you're going.
I always think about the reverse trap, which, like, I can't really, like, I had a sentence.
It reverses the controls, but it doesn't...
I can't really imagine what this does to Ko.
Yeah.
And also, it doesn't reverse the controls.
No, that's what I mean. Sorry, it reverses the visuals. It doesn't reverse the controls. So hold down the triangle button while figuring out where to move, because it gets extremely annoying after a while.
Yeah, it is surprisingly disorienting to just continue doing the thing you were doing a second ago.
Yeah, and we see here that AI1 will be able to take out the Wee Dog. He will be able to duke it out. Oh, just shy, actually. Oh, dear.
Oh, dear. This is not
definitely
good.
direct, and then a fireball, I think, on the Unicorn is the best course of action there. And we see Poulet running away from Oh, there's a frog trap there.
Oh, this is not good. This is bad.
Yeah.
Cannot get the lift, and that is almost half of Poulet's health in a single blow. Holy Scroll is a nice choice against that Viper.
Oh, is it going to get blinded? Nope. Okay. Frog doesn't like being lifted.
Frog is able to do something about it, which is the surprising part. And now it's a Viper past your line of defense. Sorry, Poulet. And the other Viper is not going to beat it, but will hopefully be able to pin it down long enough for Poulet to get away.
Yeah, and we see here Septic is catching up time. And this is the type of floors I... Like, if you can get by with the Scarlet Wand and Queenie, and you get to the wind floors, which Poulet's almost on, you're kind of set for being able to fight things. This is the second set of water floors, really, with the Vipers and stuff like that.
Yeah, you've got the Vipers, you've got some Arachnes for a little bit, just on their tail end of their range. And those hit hard.
Mm-hmm.
They're just us tanky enough to be, oh, this is unpleasant.
Especially, I would honestly, Mahel Seed, and be very curious about that spell ball, actually, but Mahel Seed, okay.
And this is a party.
This is Mahel Seed, and you walk down to, You take the one hit.
Yeah, I think that is about the only possible course. We're going to see how Septic deals with this in just a moment, I think.
Mm-hmm. The monster orientation will be different because Septic does have Queenie or a pet out versus Poulet who doesn't. That's just the quirk of the randomizer for floor generation. The items are all the same, the layout's all the same, but the monster
the items
location
can be slightly different. They're usually the same type of item, but slightly different. For reasons which are mysterious. Oh, that's not great.
Yeah, definitely don't go up the elevator if you're a frog. Or just take the time and wait, or... Because, like, that's some of the work. Oh, hey, it's a snowman. No one likes snowmen as well. They are extremely strong.
And you can't lift them. They are dense.
Yep.
You'd think something called the snowman you could lift, and you'd be wrong.
As a Canadian, I've never been able to lift a snowman after completion. So...
Same, now that I think about it. That they're not a Canadian. And I've, in fact... I mean, Oh, snowman. Point is, like, but you think snow not super like a snowman wouldn't be super dense, is what I'm saying.
Well, the thing is, Septic got transformed into a frog. Queenie tried to defend his honor versus Unicorn and Viper, and bought it as well.
That worked
And
out
now
the way
there's
you expect it to.
Septic.
Oh, bad luck on the list.
GG.
And Septic goes down, and that is game, set, and match, everybody.
Yeah. Give me a sec here to notify Poulet. Oh, not at GG. There you go.
You know, I think if someone joined a server with a username like GG, I wonder how many things this person would get on accident. Bet a lot.
Yeah, honestly, like, this is where I know for a fact Septic still had the plump egg to throw. That wasn't used earlier. That could have been a resource.
Going for the pickup a second time was like, look, I know what you want to have happen in your head, but wanting something to happen and doing it because you want it to work when you're at that low health against a Viper with those monsters behind you, probably not great. Not gonna win you a lot of scenarios, honestly.
No. And the thing is, the Snowman and like Minivas, and like this Minivas actually could probably actually be able to 24. Honestly, it might kill the Naplus.
Distinctly possible. The Naplus is working at an element disadvantage, and that's pretty significant. But Poulet has heard the news.
Yeah, that's clearly where they stop, and they're going to be resetting. And honestly, like, this is where it comes down to just sometimes a tower says no. To lift, it takes 5/8 of a chance for a success. Sometimes that 3/8 says no. And you can't always bank on it. And then there's other times where I know Damage Plushie yesterday, apparently was just lifting everything. And you just always get all the luck.
Do that sometimes.
Yeah, so like everyone has, like, that's what the beautiful thing about this community is. Everyone has a completely different play style. And
I would say completely different. Everyone has an order of priority. Because you can never really know what you're going to get. A fully consistent play style is hard to really have.
5, 7,
you have
1,
things
3.
You want. I am actually going to go get a drink while they set up.
Sure. I have mine here because it's a heat wave.
Very sensible. I had one and it ran out.
Yeah, my water kept warming up. For those who don't know, it's like plus 30 again here. Last week is plus 47 when I was doing commentary, so I have a bunch of bottles in the fridge of cold water. So, but anyway, for those who, I'll make sure they get ready and go soon. For those who are new here again, let me just do the whole post thing. Where's my message? There we go. For those who want to join our Discord, here's the speedrunning Discord. Here are the runners. Honestly, follow them. They're absolutely amazing at this game. And here's Laideme and myself. I am Shiny7188. There's going to be a quick bathroom break, so we'll start in a second. But just to give a brief rundown of what this is, let me sick cough. I love allergies. This is Azure Dreams. It's a PlayStation 1 roguelike game. Everything is procedurally generated, and thanks to pro_grammar, our programmer of the Discord, he actually managed to isolate the RNG for seed generation for the tower, so we can have races where everyone races on the same seed. And this is amazing. Before it was, we actually asked quite a few members who were actually into figuring things out, and everyone deemed it impossible, and programmer made it possible. So all thanks of this goes to programmer. When they get going, they'll get the same 5 items. This is with the quality of life changes, so it reduces the floor 1 time, where all the items are just in a row within the elevator. It will be a copper sword, wooden shield, medicinal herb, a fireball with 5 charges, and a randomly colored egg that will contain a palumpa. That palumpa can be hatched later and infused if you get the blue color to do water strats. I don't know if Septic was playing that eventually after, which is why he's maybe holding on to the egg. Good mental note to have while playing this game. Resources are useless if you die. Use what you can to survive, and if you get up 1 more floor, yay.
Yep.
And
you can't take it with you.
Yep. And this is a roguelike. If you die, like playing casually, you lose all your inventory and you get sent back to town. Mm-hmm. And that's not normally as punishing, but this is a speedrunning thing. We have an hour limit per round, and on top of that, we also have it's a race. So whoever gets to the higher floor first will be, winning. And let's say Poulet were to die on floor 29, that means Septic would have to get to floor 30.
Yep.
Count them down then?
Sounds like a plan.
And so that's basically the general rules and whatnot. If anyone has any questions in chat, please feel free to ask. This is honestly there's always so many times we can do the spiel, and after that it's more or less commenting on how they're goofing off or dying, or Poulet hitting 2 trees in his first run going up to the tower. Like there's a bunch of stuff we could already comment on, but it's just what it is.
We can always comment on weird things this game says.
Yes. And also, there are a lot of different categories. I guess I explained while the delay is happening before they're off. We have book list, we have curry percent, we have first at 10, 20, and 30. So incomplete run, you can still submit a run. They're very beginner friendly as well, although I think Wooga destroyed that recently.
Yeah.
Wooga does a lot with the community, and they're off. There's 100%. Not a lot of runners have done that. That takes a lot of knowledge of glitches and whatnot.
And just a lot of patience.
Mm-hmm.
The 100% is more or less like bookless in that you complete the tower, you do all the town stuff, you date all the girls, you build all the buildings. However, Sand Knight, why?
Poulet backwards for his username as well.
Very nice. Anyway, but you do all of that, but in 100%, you fill out your sister's little monster book full of cool lore by, I think it's defeating or owning every monster. And that is incredibly tedious.
Yes. Actually, we saw one of those bells that raises up the enemy's level. If you take that up to the spider floor, if you ever want to experience true pain, take up 2 or 3 of those. I can't remember what level the spiders are. Evolve the floor, then explore the floor fully, and you'll experience true pain versing Assuras everywhere. But theoretically, if you punch one and evolve it, same with snowmen and sabers and stuff like that, if you would do that as well, you could theoretically... wait, do they have a different sword on already? Yeah, they're one-shotting at level 1. Is that a steel sword?
Could be.
Yes, it's a steel sword.
And they immediately very kind warp trap. We'll see how that happens on Poulet's side. Their routes have not diverged enough for it to be different. That's so funny. Because if you happen to have a seated tower the way we are using the de-randomizing functions of the randomizer for, and you do the same things, make the same movements, make the same attacks, you will roughly get the same results. This is easier said than done, mind you. But it's true enough for this circumstance, wild as it was.
Yeah, and honestly, like, this game itself, like, I've phrased it a couple times previously, the tower says no. You learn that very quickly in this game of sometimes you can have the perfect inventory, you can have lots of levels, You can have everything going right in a speed run, and you step on a paralysis trap in a door frame, your monster won't protect you and you will die. Or your monster will get confused by accident by putting him down, and he'll one-shot you. Like, there's all sorts of things where the tower just says, you know what, we're just not going to let you survive.
Yeah, sometimes you're the windshield and sometimes you're the bug.
Also, a very, 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 very weird throwback going on right now to a life wand in their inventory, and they're using a steel sword to full featureitis. Oh, there's the warp trap effect there properly.
Yeah, okay, that's a little more risky.
Yeah.
The floor doesn't look very big, so I think Septic will be able to walk on back, but can't be really optimistic about it.
Yeah,
I'd be real happy to see this.
There we go. Yeah, if you change the AI to 1, you can see where you teleport from and get back there. If Queenie were to hit the warp trap, there is no way to find out where Queenie teleported to. At least with Ko hitting the trap, we'll probably see actually. Oh no, okay, Poulet not going down that exit, so not going to find that warp trap.
Always a great thing. Septic being very conservative with Kuhn's MP, I notice, in that not using mixture magic against these early enemies. I think that's an interesting move. Also interesting, leaving behind the blue sand. I think even if you don't want it clogging your inventory space, you might as well use it.
Mm-hmm.
Every little bit helps. This is a little bit Pokemon. Not extremely, just a little bit.
Yeah, and honestly, like, it's always really nice to see. And also, just finish my statement, is full featureitis when she did one of her tournament matches, everyone kept pointing out she had a life wand in her inventory, and she went up the tower with the steel sword, and that was actually a practice run that ended up being her 40-floor climb, and people kept commenting, it's like, why don't you equip it? Why don't you equip it? And after it was revealed, it was cursed, and she had an inkling that if she did that, she would actually have a problem with it. And there's a couple of memes posted. That's why we kept saying, if you have a steel sword, you're going to win, or whatever in the community. That's a really old meme now, and in the lifespan of this Discord. But this is so silly at this point.
These things tend to be. It's, whenever you are at the mercy of something greater and faster than you, superstition is bound to arise to allow a pitiful mankind a feeling of power in a universe in which they are powerless. Meaning in which their actions are meaningless. That is the deep philosophical heart explored by Azure Dreams.
And here we have a merry-go-round.
Monsters do not know how to use a traffic circle.
Mm-hmm. Like most of America.
Yeah.
So basically, also North America as well. It's not just America. But when it comes to the way enemies move, is they love to keep their hand on the left wall, is the way I normally phrase it. And so that little loop there is going left, and they all approached it going left, and they're all going to be doing that for eternity, basically. So every once in a while you'll see that happen, or you'll see them as they approach or they walk through a room, they'll go to the left-hand side of the future hallway, so they'll exit on the right-hand side of the room. You see here the bloom on Poulet's side is approaching from the left-hand side of the door. That's just how this game works. And eventually you figure it out, and you go, okay, cool, this is all...
Yeah, which exit they choose does appear to be a bit random.
Mm-hmm. I don't 100% understand that one.
Exit on the left side of the exit.
Yeah, and they always try to take the shortest distance from point A to point B, but I don't understand how to... There's a go-up trap there.
Nicely done. That's a circus right there.
Technically, yes. Oh, so Queenie's gonna get... Oh, never mind. I was gonna say Queen might get smacked there. And not cursed. Okay. You forgot to change the AI 3.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah. No level drop.
Luckily, that did not work correctly.
It's a lot of monsters on Poulet's side. Again, there's no reason. Yeah, there's no reason not to pick up the blue sands and stuff like that. And a scorched shield, I don't think I would 100% agree with because some of the biggest threatening things in the tower are all water based. It's actually better to actually take off your shield or your scorched shield versus U-boats than it is to have it on.
Right. On this floor in particular, I would not want the scorched shield.
Although the clowns do only 6 damage there, so it's worth it.
Yeah, that's a nice little benefit. Elemental shields can be very powerful in their each own time and place.
Don't use the Earth Shield unless you want to die.
I think even the Earth Shield has its time and place. It's just a very cautious time and place. You maybe don't want it to be your main walking around shield.
Mm-mm.
And if it's cursed, you really don't want that. But if you have it, and it's not cursed, and you can switch back onto something that won't take extra damage from the fire elements of bomb traps or griffin snipes, or all of that, then maybe you'll have something there. Oh. Kuhn's doing alright at the moment. Kuhn is hanging in there.
That steel sword actually is able to basically one-shot most things.
Yeah, steel sword is not at all bad at this point in the game. Eventually, it's not gonna be enough, and by eventually, I mean, like...
2 floors, maybe?
Yeah. Maybe 1 floor, even.
Poulet finding a bouquet.
Yes. Yes. Using a ton of fruit on the bloom, I am too much a fan of the Tumma glitch to, like, see it as quite that disposable as a first recourse, but certainly it's better than facing all 3 of those blooms. You can maybe fight a bloom 1 bloom at a time.
Yeah, not 3. That's
not 3. That's too much. They are, I think, one of the last enemies of the water floors that one could hope to go toe-to-toe with.
Now this is the Septic's pace I'm actually kind of familiar with. It's only about 11 minutes in, and Septic is on, I think, floor 11 or something, or floor 12. Like, this seems very, very fast for a pace, because this is less than 1 room per, or 1 floor per...
Yes,
yeah, that's floor 11. That's at least because of the griffins, so...
Septic has blazed his way across this tower. It's gotta be...
14,
yeah,
okay!
No, I was gonna say, it has to be 12 because that background...
Yeah.
It has to be at least that, because that background isn't on 11. 11 is 5.
15 now? Jeez.
I do like the different floor backgrounds a lot. I kind of like the more natural ones. I'm a sucker for, like, an indoor garden aesthetic. But I also kind of like the rich ones, you know? Like those really high-level floors where everything just has, like, that very decadent vibe.
I like the metal grating of the top floors for the actual floor layout in the hallways and stuff like that. But at the same time, I swear, the hallways get thinner up there. I know they don't, but I swear there's problematic with that. We got Bloom Egg from the one that they picked up earlier, so Septic identified that, and nothing really lost on that one.
Yeah, if you have the right combination of resources, there's some fun stuff you can do with blooms, but it's a long way to go for, even for that payoff.
Yeah, and we see here Septic just gonna say no to fighting all the monsters in a row, especially because I think there's a Kraken behind the Garudas there too.
Skeef pointing out that some of the second tower floor patterns, there we go. Oh, there we go. I said it. Good job. Oh, that is a lot going on in that room.
That's a lot of free experience, though.
Yeah.
If everything stays asleep and he's able to get rid of everything there and keep the bell wrong and wake it up, that's a perfectly good spawn room, yeah. Just put outside.
Very sensible. That's going to decrease the chances of the barong waking up, actually, because it's not in a room with him.
All the monsters on the other side of the room too. Also, people need to remember, Balrog's gonna hit like a truck. Everyone uses him as a little gotcha machine. They legitimately hurt.
They're pretty tough.
So there's a griffin looking at Poulet.
You just normally wear them out completely with their compulsive gotchaing. You have a problem, Barong.
Actually, you could feed the leva fruit for one extra thing, actually. Is he gonna do that?
Could.
Nope, he's gonna go for more gambling.
Several.
Okay.
Party time.
Honestly, if Septic is able to get a roche fruit from this,
that could be a big one. Now, this is burning into Septic tanks. Oh, that'll be nice. That is one monster Septic never has to deal with.
Holy Bell, that's honestly good security.
Yeah. This was a pretty nice barong. Not a game changer in any respect.
He still has... Oh, Septic is keeping the leva fruit for a picket, is what he's doing. That's the thing. You throw that so they eat it, and then they technically can't steal from you and they run away. So.
Handy.
Yeah, Septic is just blazing it up these floors, though. That's now floor 17 in less than 15 minutes. And all the best pickets. Look at the pickets. They're so cute.
Nice little party. And a man.
Yep, there you go.
Less cute.
Yeah, Manivas are just not fun. And then you throw the leva fruit into the other one. Nope. There you go. And it's gonna run away now because it's full.
That works all right. Are pickets just stealing to eat?
They're just jerks. They're just jerks.
Okay, fair enough. They do taunt you an awful lot. But consider they do eat anything and they leave if they're full, so...
Poulet just saying no to the Kraken there with the straight oleum fruit. The way Septic dealt with that was throwing a wind seed into it and using a fireball, taking a hit. Showing different strats.
That's a pretty nice little trick. You kind of have to decide what you are valuing when. And in this game, and sometimes the multiple paths you can take end up sometimes having an optimal path and sometimes not having an optimal path.
That rise damage.
Sometimes having an optimal path, but today it's wrong. Can't be too results oriented in Azure Dreams.
No. Again, like I pointed out earlier, we tend to race against the tower more than race against each other because it's a healthier mentality just for a community. Like you don't want to have. We blame Sandknight. We always ask him if that's okay, and he says, "Yeah, that's fine." He likes being the butt of a joke every now and then, but like for the most part, like we don't like being competitive with each other. Like races are fine. That's kind of the exception. That's a very nice looking egg on Poulet's side. I don't think Septic found that one. That's a floor 14 egg.
So either. That could be some fun things.
Yeah, that might be a Garuda, and if that's the case, that honestly might make it
very different race.
Mm-hmm.
Would not be surprised if we see Poulet start hatching that as soon as the opportunity arises. Oh, bad.
3 spaces to the right, 3 spaces down is the door.
Problem solved.
Yeah, honestly, it's always good keeping a Rolim herb on you because blind honestly can really screw you up unless you're really good at memorizing what the floor layout was when it goes dark. That's actually been one of my actual strengths in this game because there we go. We got the egg hatching now.
There's that egg. Let us see what we have in here. Meanwhile, Septic has gotten up to the Arachne floors with that swirly tile effect going on. It's alright. It's a little monochrome.
So we should make a commentator spreadsheet for what the floor tiles look like, because everyone keeps hiding their HUD half the time.
I generally know what the floor layouts look like, cat backgrounds and whatnot look like. It's just a matter, and I think most runners do, it's just a matter of there are several floors with the same layout in a bunch usually. 2 or 3 or so. And it's a pretty reliable way of tracking your progress and making you feel like you're seeing something new, even when it's kind of the same. There's always a new monster sort of moving in and out of your range, or your Garuda. Okay, folks, let's buckle in.
Yeah, this is going to be a weird race now. So, Poulet is, at this point, about... Okay, we're going to be renaming it as well. So, we should explain the Garuda. The Garuda has a special ability.
Some good old blasphemy.
Jesus won. So, the way the Garuda works is it has a little ability called Abduct, which actually is Abduct, I believe, in the randomizer. And it's actually going to be extremely, extremely broken, because if Poulet ever gets in a situation like this and goes, oh no, I need to get out of it, he now goes to a random floor tile, and he can continuously do this, and it takes up like 1/8 of an MP.
Very small. Basically not dissimilar to like just using mixture magic. It's a mixture magic, generally speaking, won't immediately solve whatever problem you happen to be facing.
Yeah, and the thing is, now we know the next floor is going to be the Garuda and whatever, and the elevator. And I don't know if he'll take time for this or just go. He's just going to go. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So that's all the time that Septic spent there. You can say Poulet caught up on him on that one, because that was a big time investment.
Mm-hmm.
And there you go.
Yeah, just right to the elevator, too. That is some wild luck.
Mm-hmm. So this is where we actually kind of... I know me and Wooga were talking about yesterday, like, oh, it's like, should we separate the leaderboards again? And honestly, it's like... There's certain broken things in this game, and Garuda's been the highlight of everyone discussing things, if it is truly broken or not. I can see Poulet winning this race extremely easily. And
absolutely.
That's terrifying.
I see him not. I'm not necessarily sure. There are ways in which using a Garuda is a little bit riskier than normal methodical play, but not that much.
No, and the thing is, you can teleport into, like, again, we see here Septic. Actually, he could have bagged Queenie there, actually.
Yeah, that certainly would have been an option. Looks like we're going to see some Viper manips.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fun one.
Yeah, Vipers will always go to eat eggs first. So if you put an egg on the ground, they'll actually completely ignore you. And if you actually have strong enough mixture magic, you can just kill them by the time they get to you. The one thing that Poulet does have to worry about is Poulet's done leveling up for the run, basically. So he's always going to be at the mercy of whatever's going to hit him. And yeah. Like, he will die in a hit from a killer at this point, I believe, at level 9.
Probably. And like, that is... If something's going to end Poulet's run, it's going to end it very quickly.
So we're at floor 23 with Septic. And we're on floor 21 now. So he's made up a difference of... That's why he changed Garuda into a fire creature, actually. So the bomb traps would not potentially kill Garuda.
Yeah, that is certainly one of those things that can end the joy and light that is Garuda.
Yeah, he's gonna have to. You also want to move into the Garuda as well. That's just a better play. He's back in the room with the Viper now there. Problem is, it's also a random tile, so it's not like you can really manipulate it unless you know how the
Yeah.
RNG manipulates every floor.
It's just a matter of spamming abduct until it lands you somewhere you want
Exactly
to be.
there. So floor 25 for Septic, because we saw a picket there. I know I can recognize that one easily.
Mhm.
Gonna grab that egg. Holy Scroll, too many belongings. Get rid of 2D curse. Yeah, you don't need 2D curse scrolls.
You really don't. You at this point you've kind of committed to your equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sure, you could find something else, but fighting is increasingly a long shot, basically.
I think actually it's not supposed to be Jesus 1. I think it's actually supposed to be Jesus with an exclamation point. I don't think he found it quick enough.
I think the joke is that it's Jesus with an exclamation point, but typoed.
Either that, or is Jesus take the wheel kind of thing, and Jesus is to take him.
One of them.
Either way, watch Poulet later about his naming choices, but yeah, this is exactly why Garuda. Like, if he actually had, like, let's say, perfect RNG for how things go, like, you can honestly see, like, 26 is where Septic is because Balrongs appear on 16, 26, 36. There we go. We now have a stealth.
Oh, a stealth. That is a legitimate threat to Poulet's well-being here.
Yep.
Oh, a holy sword. So that's a thing you can. And an alchemic scroll. It's just all things that you pretty much only see from Balrongs.
And a water crystal.
Oh, that one's
That's
nice.
a very beneficial.
Very friendly Balrong.
He went too many turns there.
Yep.
No, that's not what you do.
Not the way you do that one.
No, you had the bell wrong. You had one space between you. You could have used the bell wrong in the one hex hallway there and blocked it off and then made the snowman turn around. If you have a monster that's an enemy that is out of MP, you can use it as a wall and seal off hallways and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. You can also do this trick with sufficiently weak enemies that aren't out of MP. I'm thinking of specifically the Palumpa Return.
Yeah, the plumpering. So Poulet went. Oh, wait.
Doing a little bit of inventory, you never know what could happen.
I'm wondering who's going to get up the elevator first to be in first. Oh, it's still Septic.
Okay, barely taking the lead there.
Yeah.
By the thinnest of margins and elevator train.
Yep, they're both being careful.
We will keep this going.
So let's see here. We got a scroll. We have Annapolis, floor 28, Minerva. This is where, again, Poulet is just going to go, nope.
Yeah, just don't have to deal with anything.
Yeah.
Walking is for peasants.
Yeah, it still has 46 MP after all those abducts. Although Septic did find the elevator first. So this is where...
That is just a matter of luck. It would be nice to walk, but it's just not an option. And Garuda really liking these couple of rooms over and over again, that's not a great feeling, I'd have to imagine.
No.
It is the frustrating, okay, Garuda, we understand.
There it is. Yeah.
There's a room that is not the same couple of rooms over and over again. Oh, Holy Scroll. That's interesting.
Honestly, killers are a good friend.
Yeah, killers are a good friend. They're pretty... they're killers. They're literally dudes just with axes.
And boxer
Throwing
shorts and his
bars.
belt.
Yeah, that too. Please don't ask why. No one quite knows
Yeah.
the reason.
Ooh.
Oh, that's bad. That is one of those things that will end the joy and the fun.
Where was it? Oh no, that's like 4 rooms away. Oh no, he's confused now.
And there's nothing he can do about any of this. That is scary, scary, scary. Time to just use whatever you have to scramble as fast as you can.
And he got to it. Okay.
Okay. One saved. One rescued.
Yeah, the unintended Garuda warp trap will definitely end your Garuda run.
Mm-hmm.
We got floor 30 and floor 31 now for Septic, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, oh no! Poulet got to floor 30 first.
Okay. This is a race. Ice Rock Ball, pretty nice. A bit slower, I think, than Poulet would necessarily like, but certainly viable. And we saw the elevator on spinning even.
Ooh. Thankfully, not the worst, but there's still a tyrant in the way.
Mm-hmm. Poulet boldly going forth, or at least until actually the monsters wake up. And now, what do you do about this fella?
You got Holy Bell.
You
got a ton of fruit.
You have a lot of options here, frankly.
Yeah. The fact that Tumble Fruit is a viable option is hilarious to me in 2 different ways.
I actually think I probably would have saved the Holy Bell and gone to the Tumble Fruit.
We saw the elevator.
Because after all, Tumble Fruit, well, while it can save you from many monsters, it does so in a way that's very slow and takes some prep.
Mm-hmm.
But Holy Bell could, for example, save you from this run. Specifically.
The crystal on the top of the screen as Septic walked by was actually real. You didn't wait the 1 extra turn. Hi, Septic. That is 63 HP. Can you... okay, pick up Queenie, walk away. You're all good. There you go.
There, that worked out. That could have gone very bad.
Yeah, but and unfortunately, Poulet needs to pick up. There we go. There we go.
Okay, nicely done. Nicely done.
Ice Rock Ball again. We have floor 31.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Back to Dragon.
Time to fly away.
Yeah, as long as you have 1 space, you're basically golden for this. And this is why it's just so overpowering to you see Septic lowering the camera so it will actually reduce lag as the enemies attack.
Yep, because the wall of ice can really slow down your run, but it can also save it, and so, a run in which you are alive is faster, technically speaking, than a run in which you are dead. It's just how this goes.
Yeah. And we have floor 35 on Poulet's side.
Getting down to the margin. I was hoping to see
floor 36
friendly third, and that way we just have a week of friendly third won by the person who lost the other matches.
I didn't lose a friendly third against Damage Plushie.
Oh, good point.
At floor 37.
I was thinking about my match, I think.
We can all agree that Chicken Man's overpowered. We need to nerf him.
Yeah, Chicken Man's overpowered. Well, it's the spice of life.
Oh, you walked in the raw. That's very, very fortunate you're not in a room, so the dragon won't breath you. But still very scary, stepping in front of a dragon.
Mm-hmm. Gotta be careful. This run could come to a very quick end, basically at any moment.
Yeah, you can see the stutter stepping or the running and stopping very quickly happening. Floor 38. Honestly, I don't see Poulet stopping.
No.
Just because double Hazard Seed's not intended.
Those would have been lovely to see, like, a while ago, frankly. But
Yeah.
not now.
And the thing is, like, we used to have a rule. Would you use Garuda? Would you not use Garuda if you found it? And we'd had everyone kind of agree to it.
It's like a gentleman's agreement. I think the general rule of thumb is that Garuda is something one opts out of at this point, rather than strictly into. We're all okay with that happening to someone at this point, but I think anyone would respect the request if asked.
Yeah, and the thing is, this is where
SepticTank, using the fact that you can still use items just fine while confused.
Mm-hmm. But I was gonna say is when it comes to the Garuda, is Septic just missed it. That's all. Like they had the same seed.
It was there for both of them. It was fair.
Yeah. So that's why we don't really agree with it. So
in the sort of broad sense.
It's floor 39, so...
Mm-hmm.
And there we go.
There we are. And that's GG. Yeah. That is a 4-floor clear on the friendly third. I'd like to see if Septic can pull out another one.
Yeah.
I would like to see this race end into friendly thirds as we come to that. We're really getting down to the wire of this tournament, aren't we?
Yeah. Chicken Man too strong.
Chicken Man very strong.
Yeah. Septic's like, what? He finished already? Yep. Unfortunately, F in chat from Septic. There you go. Yeah, this is like again, Garuda just changes the entire game when it comes to how you play. He's level 11 on floor 40. Oh, we got Canadian strats there.
Oof.
62 damage from the
that would have just killed Poulet if that had happened.
Scorch Shield.
Oh, Scorch
That's
Shield.
The difference in damage.
Yeah, this is what we're saying about Scorch Shield.
Okay, we're going to wait for a little bit. Septic is going to try to attempt to finish.
I would love to see it. But also, that must hurt.
Yeah.
Luckily, it does at least provide a little bit of difference, but that can't happen again with that health.
Yeah, Poulet is going to have fun with the end boss, I think, now, confusing him. Oh, he still died. You can technically lose if you eat a ton of fruit and then die, as I pointed out in a previous match. That was found by Lupo. So...
very fun thing to mess with the scripted balance.
Yeah, because if we've... No, they don't. This is all, like, I think one room or something, or like they disable it or something. But, yeah, this is... I can see Septic finishing with his supplies. He just has to be really careful with that Scorch Shield and...
Mm-hmm.
The Viper should be able to pick up the KO here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nicely done. And the monsters do have a pretty high level boost when you throw an egg.
Yeah. Oh, there's the elevator, and then there's a... It's gonna go around, yep. And so is the Golem.
Golem is pretty manageable by comparison, though. While it hits pretty hard, attack it with a fire spell and it will fold like a piece of origami.
Okay, Skeef pointed out Luga found the frog death. Lupo clipped it and posted in the meme channel. Also, fun fact, we'll switch the music over here back to Septic because gameplay. But Poulet has all your friends and families there, and you're finishing up the tower, and you're coming back.
And also Total Stranger.
Yeah,
Who's like
and Cheryl, who's a
everything.
bedridden girl who's been sick since birth, is there just because she's programmed to have the final line. She didn't have a character portrait either.
I wonder. I wonder what the story there is. I think someone on the dev team must have just really liked Cheryl. I think that is it. Because, you know, like, Nico could have said it.
Yeah, you know your childhood friend, the one that's always there, who
Your
greets you at
sister
the start
could
of the
have
game.
said it.
Yep.
That would be really cute.
Septic just running into all the monsters right
Your
now.
mom could have said it.
Yeah,
Literally.
your mom actually would have been nice because that would have, you know, let her had
Made a
a
nice little parallel to. And no, but why does Ko knock on the door to parallel when when his family found out that his father had died as a cruel joke?
Now, you know, actually, as you point that, like,
Alternatively, if we want to go with a version where Ko's not being a jerk, I'm going to say, maybe it's because he saw that there were a lot of people in the house.
and that Scorch Shield's going to be a big play here because that's going to do a lot of damage in the corner.
Yeah, that's gonna be a
There
rough
we go.
one.
And then he equips the Ice Shield in front of the Golem.
Yeah.
Don't do that, Septic.
Septic, please consider the things you need to live.
Ah, there you go. High Queenie is high trash.
Shawnee always names his cue trash, and so here we are. High trash.
Yeah. The thing is, it's only because of what was this last egg? Oh, that was the Plumpa from the beginning. That's not going to go well.
Do it. That's not gonna do it.
You got the Scarlet Wand.
Yeah, but would he win in a fight? No. Magic damage is not the same as
24. One more hit should take it out after the. Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Okay.
He has a Scarlet One though. It's not. He has a Life One equipped. He has a Scarlet One in his inventory. It's the last inventory slot.
Well, what you gonna do here, Septic? Yeah, that's, I think, a fair option here. Do your best to dodge around. Hope that, like, I'd maybe pick up Kuhn even. Even just, like, leave nothing available.
Yeah.
Okay, so where are we on Septic?
39 now, I believe.
Okay. One more floor to go.
Take off the Scorch Shield. Just
Take the Scorch Shield off, Septic. Learn your lesson.
Hey, just because he was raised in a dirty hovel doesn't mean he's raised in a barn. He knows how to knock on the door.
That's a good point. That's a good one.
Yeah, the Glacier's going to be occupied with the Ice Rock for a while, probably 6-7 turns at most, and the raised elevation means that it can't snipe him and push him down the hallway.
That's a good one. Just gotta carefully walk his way out of the room. Yeah, I generally like to carry Kuhn in situations where, like, every single space that I can put between myself and an enemy matters.
There's also another small thing. Septic waits with triangle and circle while waiting for enemies to leave. Mm-hmm. I don't do that. I actually will pace in place to make sure that I count the steps exactly needed. And there's floor 4. Oh no! Okay, good.
There we go.
244 climbs in one go.
That is what we like to see here, folks. Let's see if we can't get these two great runners in for an interview.
Yeah, they should get their links right away here. Hello, Poulet.
Hello.
GG, good work.
Thank you.
Chicken Man's too strong. Please nerf.
Apparently, yes.
Congrats on another win.
Hello, hello, Septic.
Good work, Septic. I'm really glad we got to see the double floor 40 on that one.
Yeah. And Septic earned it. No. Poulet found a Garuda on floor 14. Immediately went on his way to hatch it. You just never went down that corridor, never found the egg.
Oh no.
Yeah, so Septic got to floor 40 in 43 minutes by brute forcing it, using resources, fighting golems, getting hit by a lot of glaciers with a scorch shield. Really, Septic, giving us a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 62 damage or something from a glacier. That's a little bit excessive.
I went a good long time without actually having to deal with, my shield element at all.
Yeah.
So, like, I completely forgot that I was holding a elemental shield. I was just focusing on trying to find elevators and, going up.
Yeah, Poulet was just showing why Garuda is so broken.
It truly is, yes.
You also named it Jesus 1. Can we ask why?
I couldn't remember where the blank character rules, so I just ended it with a 1 at the end to not have it named Jesus How. But
Yeah,
it was really whatever.
You were closer to right there, Shawnee.
Yeah, I thought you couldn't find the exclamation point.
Oh, sure,
I
yeah.
thought it was like a deliberate Brit typo gag.
Yeah, judging by the round 1 ended very quickly, obviously, with I think it was like 13 minutes into the match or something. There was a death, and then you got to floor 13. Septic, unfortunately, got sniped by a troll with a bowgun just for the perfect amount of HP and died.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering what happened because I was feeling very unconfident with that monster that I found, or which found me rather.
He found you, definitely found you. Yeah.
To be honest, I made some real bad mistakes with that troll. Like, I was being a little stingy on my medicinal herb. So, like, that definitely... I should have just med-herbed or went for another AI1. Honestly, I want to look back at it because I think it was just one hit away with AI1 and I was just too afraid to have that potential miss that would have also ended me.
If it makes you feel better, I also lost Cuny in match 2 randomly to a Viper because apparently I can't count HP. And I was doing AI1 stuff and then Cuny just died a horrible death.
Yeah, and excuse me, that's the runner thing is gone all of a sudden. Well. So the thing is, like, you lost Queenie, and that was round 2 that you lost Queenie in, right, Poulet?
Yes.
Yeah. And you just started booking it, and you two were actually like on the elevators at the same time for about 4 or 5 floors going up.
Ooh.
Yeah,
like it was within like 15
real
seconds
neck
between
and
each other.
neck. The first one, there was a sizable gap. Poulet, you were right to be a little unconfident because Septic never found that monster den that you had to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And so got a bit of a head start on most of those floors. But on that second seed, you two were pretty much neck and neck for like a while there.
And then you found a Garuda and made up 9 floors.
Well,
that was 13.
It was number 3, yes, yeah. That's what Garuda does usually, yeah.
Yes, and the thing is, you also hit a warp trap, which made your Garuda disappear, and then you had a killer in front of you briefly. So, thankfully, you had a Holy Scroll. You got back.
I was ready, mentally prepared to have to finish without Garuda, so I was like counting my resources, and I used my star glasses to run towards the elevator, and then suddenly Garuda was like, "Hey, hello, you missed me." I was not expecting it to be alive.
I got a question for you, Poulet. In that third seed, the steel sword that was on the very first, well, second floor, in the very first room, did you ever equip it?
Yeah, right at the start, I found it, equipped it, it was +2, I was happy.
Yeah, both of you were just obliterating everything just with the steel sword up to like floor 10.
Oh, man.
You're just killing everything else right
A
there.
reminder about damage.
Yep.
Yeah, I like steel sword, it's 4 attack, it's pretty good early on, but stronger than mixed magic because of just the multiplicator and how it works. So if I find a steel sword, I will just equip it rather.
Yeah, it's honestly like it's still a good amount of chunk of damage, and with proper AI1, even with not a wand or same type attack bonus kind of thing, like you still can do a good amount of damage going up the floors. Like,
Yeah, Steel Sword allows you to have a good amount of 2 or 3 shots with AI ones like cyclones, balloons, maneuvers to some extent. So I really like it.
yeah, we're making comments. If you find a steel sword, you win the game from the old memes. Of the time.
Yes. And then you
That's
blame
so-
SK.
Yes. Yeah, and I also want to point out I appreciate you naming High Queenie trash at the home.
You're welcome, Johnny. It was dedicated to you.
Yeah, definitely take notice of that. Also, Septic is making Beldo wait very patiently.
He's fine.
He's waited like 7 straight years. He could wait another 30 minutes. That's not a problem.
And by the way,
We'll wait patiently for 25 turns.
I just realized today I had no idea that Garuda does not work on the 40th floor.
Yep.
I was prepared to troll Beldo around a bit by warping around the room, but apparently you cannot on floor 40.
Rude.
Garuda.
Yeah. You also can't use Scout on U-Boat.
Ah, well, I mean, you see the whole room anyway, so...
Exactly. Like
it's okay.
I think it's a special floor where they kind of disable like they do on floor 2.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so that... Again, for those who don't know, floor 1 is fixed. Floor 2 upon re-entries is fixed. There's 3 variants of the first floor on your second entry and after. And floor 40 is always the same. And if you don't have a wing crystal, there'll be 2 wing crystals on top of floor 40 when you get there if you don't have one. So you don't soft lock.
Yep, that would be a rude way to reward players who made it up there twice.
Yeah, if you want to soft lock, just play Super Mario Maker, it's fine.
Yeah. Other than that, do you guys have any things you want to mention about the matches that you found interesting or questions?
No, I mean, I thought I was behind on the Garuda seed because I was assuming that Septic found it as well. So I was sort of hurrying up and trying to find a balance between really hurrying up and not randomly dying.
When you were on floor 14 and you got the egg and you hatched on floor 15,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure Septic actually was on floor 21 at that point.
Oof. Okay,
Yeah,
so
sizable. So Septic was ahead, yes, and then Garuda happened.
Yeah, I think on that seed I explored floor 6 and 7 completely, not willingly, just because, I went everywhere where I shouldn't have been.
Septic, you also played the lottery a lot. Like a lot on floor 16.
I did. I had fun with it.
Yeah.
I got a holy bell off of them.
Yeah, you got a holy bell, and you actually got quite a few items. When Poulet got to that floor, Poulet picked up the bell wrong and immediately walked onto the elevator and left.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, there's all that time save on Poulet's side compared to Septic there for how long
I had a Garuda, so really you don't need anything else.
Yeah, because otherwise you would try to get the roach fruit from the bell wrong with the last chance. And
probably, yeah.
That seems to be the viable strategy for if you want a Garuda, try to find a bell wrong. And everything was just sleeping in that room. Septic peacefully put the bell wrong outside the room, killed everything else, woke up, got hit for 20 damage because that thing hits like a truck still. And then played the lottery. You gave it a Peter fruit, played the lottery a second time.
Yeah, I think Baron have the same level on floor 16, 26, and 36. So the first time you meet them, they are quite over level and they have a lot of HP and they really murder you. But then it's better the next time you see them on floor 26 and 36.
Yeah, although they're not as useful on those floors because at that point you're already kind of set for the end game, or you can kind of get 1 or 2 things like holy bells or whatever. But like floor 16, like they're just good experience. Like they're just a good way of leveling up easily.
Yeah, plus on floor 16 you can get a Roche, which you can then use onto a Garuda or an Arachne or whatever floats your boat. But afterwards, not much to be taken.
No, because you can't really do anything with the snowman. Like, there's not really any light monsters anymore on the top floors on 26 onwards. Like, the Rochefords don't really have that much of a use anymore at that point. Like, you probably get a dragon, but then you have to make sure you get a level so you can evolve it.
You can get a dragon. It's way too late when you find it.
But I think that's it. I think we can wrap it up. Septic, you're going to Losers Round 4. I will hopefully meet you there after I beat Wooga, if I can.
Maybe.
Good
And
luck,
then we will
Just
on that.
decide. Yeah, we will decide who between me, Wuga, and Septic who will take down the Chicken Man finally.
Take down. You mean try to take down, but yes, I understand what you mean. You
For
could
those
let
who don't
whoever is
know,
here.
Don Fargo, who we love, refers to Poulet as Chicken Man, so that's why I keep calling him that.
Mhm.
And most people don't know how to say Poulet.
That too.
Yes.
Alrighty. Thank you to the runners. Thank you, Shawnee, for joining me. I know this was a little last minute.
Oh yeah.
Thank
It's
you
a
to the
little bit
folks
hot
at
here, but I'm
SpeedGaming.
fine. But yeah, I think
Mhm.
that's it. I think we don't have a next match scheduled yet because it's going to be next week after that. And Septic has. I guess we can probably arrange a few friendlies if Speed Gaming's up for it as well, because we only have technically me and Wuga, and then after that, then would be the winner of that versus Septic. So maybe we try to fill the schedule a little bit too. We don't know.
Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, I just realized we only have one match next week.
Check out
But
the Azure Dreams Discord if you want to know when that match or any others will be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Indeed. And join us. We are nice folks.
We are nice folks who only occasionally submit new members to the hazing that is looking at the Japanese angel.
yes, which actually I will post in the Discord.
Yeah, just come and
There you go.
you also can try to take the chicken down. It's a fun activity. it's a group activity, but mostly.
Apparently, yes. Actually, for those who don't know, maybe we should explain this before we vanish.
Say goodbye.
Yeah, Poulet actually has like the highest win ratio versus everyone, but doesn't actively race the game. He just does tournaments.
Yes.
So he's knocked out me and my wife from a tournament. He's knocked out Septic. He's knocked out Wuga. He's knocked like Sanda. He's knocked out a lot of people, and everyone's just kind of out to get him at this point, which is why the joke is we try to topple the chicken.
But
So anyway,
The losers, thank you.
yeah.
the only
Alrighty.
issue,
No tournament.
the only issue is that you cannot put my head on a spike because technically I don't have a head.
Yep.
Yeah, that is a problem.
Despite literally your icon being a chicken head.
Yes, that's the irony.
Yeah.
It's a missing poster.
Yes.
Anyway, I think with
Have
that
you
we're
seen
good.
this head?
Mhm.
Yeah, I think with that we're good. Thank you, Speed
Okay.
Gaming. Thank you, everyone, and GG's.
Goodbye, everybody.
Have
Bye-bye.
a good night, everyone.
Have a good night.